Hello, Bravo bosses. This is the Bravo Investigator Podcast. I am your host, Dana, and today on our Monday Reality Roundup, we are talking about The Real Housewives of Miami, Summer House, of course, and Love is Blind. Let's get into it. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Weather here in Toronto was like topsy-turvy. It was so bizarre. I feel like I need to change the viewing of my computer. Does that make more sense to you guys? Are we more eye level? Okay, I like rearranged my entire living room. I got a new desk. I got just like a lot of new stuff. Do you know when you like see someone's like really cool apartment online and you're like, "Ooh, I want that." And then it just makes you like run around and buy all the things, not necessarily even the same thing. So I've changed everything around, but mostly this desk I've been waiting for from Crate and Barrel. It's green. It's so cute. You can't see it because the computer is on it. But now I have like three screens here, one for y'all, two for work. So, and my mic is like up ahead on top of me. So here we are. Happy Monday. Our agenda is a little bit shorter today, which is probably for the best because I'm just like not feeling it today. I'm not sick. I'm just not feeling it. I did see someone get hit by a car the other day, like right in front of me, and I had to call 911 and I stayed with him and everything. So it's just been like a lot in the last few days. And then just running around and doing a bunch of other things. So I'm just not feeling as chipper, I guess. Oh, and I got a haircut, as you guys can see, those who are watching on video today. And those who didn't listen on Saturday, I just want to remind you of the new schedule because I finally have a schedule. So today, Monday, reality roundups on video. Tuesdays, you are going to be getting a episode with me and my friend Yana Firestone from Pop Therapy Podcast, and we're going to be doing recaps of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So we're doing that collaboration for the rest of the season. And you'll either be able to hear the episode here on the Bravo Investigator podcast or over on her podcast, Pop Therapy. We'll explain it all. Don't worry about it. And then on Wednesdays, I'm recapping Summer House. So the only thing I'm still not quite sure about is the Valley because I have been recapping that. I've typically been doing that with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. It's gotten real meh. So you guys tell me if you want me to keep recapping it. Right now, this feels kind of like a good sweet spot for me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On the weekends, I worry about recording Reality Roundup and my new podcast called All You Need Is You. Oh, what's that? You have a new podcast? Yes, let me tell you about my new podcast. Okay, so it's called All You Need Is You. And I know that this doesn't apply to the majority of you, but I know it's very niche, but you guys are my audience and I need to try to market this somehow. So I'm trying, y'all. So it is a podcast that really tries to guide you to live your best solo life. I've been living on my own for like 15 or 16 years, and at times it has been very difficult, and at times it has been amazing. And I've really learned to cultivate a way to enjoy it in such a way that I want to share it through tips and tricks and interviews and stories and things like that. So there have been 3 episodes out so far. You just go to All You Need Is You on Apple or Spotify and leave a 5-star review over there too if you like the show and tell your friends about it. So even if you're not someone who is living alone or living a single life, but you know someone who is, or you know someone who might be interested in this podcast, please pass along the information. That show drops every Friday. So here we are today, Monday Reality Roundup. Something is going on with Lisa Hochstein. And I'll be honest, I was not keeping up with this. I have been posting. It's crazy, my ability to post about something, but not read it. Just because I can multitask, but I cannot multitask. Like I'll either be working and posting, but I can't also be reading it. That's crazy. Hold on, I need some water. My mouth is so dry. Okay, so she's been arrested. We heard with Jodi, who she's not even with anymore. And it's like, hello, Andy and a camera, like at this of all times, The Real Housewives of Miami is on pause. Like that makes absolutely no sense. So there is an LA Times article about this. So you and I are reading this together in real time for the first time because I really wanted to. Sometimes I love my real time reactions. So I just thought, okay, I heard like little snippets of what's going on here, something to do with. I heard something about putting a tracking device on Lenny's car or trying to do something to Lenny. I don't know what that has to do with Jodi, but let's read together. Okay, so this Los Angeles Times article is called Real Housewives star Lisa Hochstein arrested for allegedly spying on ex-husband. Okay, allegedly, Real Housewives of Miami star was arrested on felony charges for allegedly placing a hidden recording device in her ex-husband's Mercedes-Benz during their contentious 2023 divorce proceedings. All right, well, that was 3 years ago. No kidding you. This is awful. Hochstein and co-defendant Jodi Glidden faced charges of unlawful intercepting oral statements. She surrendered. Guys, I don't know what is wrong with me today. Hochstein and co-defendant Jodi Glidden face charges of unlawfully intercepting oral statements. She surrendered to Miami-Dade authorities Wednesday and was released on her own recognizance the same day. The alleged March 2023 incident led authorities to recover 98 recordings from the device. Both defendants have pled not guilty, with Hochstein's arraignment scheduled for April 20th of this year. The Real Housewives of Miami star Lisa Hochstein has been charged with a felony for allegedly spying on ex-husband. Hochstein, 43, and her former partner Jodi Glidden, 52, were booked on a felony charges of unlawfully intercepting oral statements from the Miami Housewives' ex-husband Leonard Lenny Hochstein. Hochstein turned herself in at Miami-Dade's Turner Guildford Night Correctional Center on Wednesday morning, according to NBC Miami. The embattled star's bond was initially set at $5,000, but she was released on her own recognizance later in the same day. NBC spoke with Hochstein as she left the Miami-Dade jail and asked, "How was it in there?" Hochstein's attorney, Jane Weintraub, walked alongside the reality star and intercepted questions, answering 5 stars. Hochstein repeated, "Yes, 5 stars." Glidden, who also appeared on Real Housewives, was arrested April 12th. He has since been released. Hochstein and Glidden have pleaded not guilty. Her arraignment is scheduled for April 20th. According to a March 17th arrest warrant obtained by People, Hochstein and Glidden allegedly placed a recording device in Leonard Hochstein's Mercedes-Benz following an acrimonious split back in March 2023. So both of them. The outlet reported that Leonard Hochstein loaned his car to the Real Housewives star after she said that she wanted to take it for a test drive because she was thinking of getting one herself. When the car was returned, Leonard Hochstein allegedly found a suspicious device in the driver's side floorboard covered with tape and hidden from view. Hardboard, like really that shoddily done. I'm surprised. The South Florida plastic surgeon contacted his lawyer, who then brought in experts who were able to pull recordings from the device. A total of 98 recordings were recovered, according to the affidavit, and one of the last recordings from before the vehicle was returned to the victim depicts Lisa Hochstein and Glidden holding a discussion and distinct sounds of a vehicle, such as the hidden recorder being wrestled into place. Hochstein can allegedly be heard saying, "Done." The warrant also states that Glidden ordered 2 recording devices of the exact same make and model on Amazon 3 months prior. Those Amazon logs, you guys. I mean, I use them myself to try to remember when I last bought something to like reorder it. So it has its pros and cons. The Hochstein's divorce played out on season 5 of the Bravo reality TV series after Leonard Hochstein admitted he was in a relationship with another woman and planned to divorce Hochstein during a hot mic moment that shocked audiences and Hochstein alike. After the divorce was final last year, Hochstein told Entertainment Tonight, "I am very happy right now. It took a long time to get here, a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, but I'm finally on the other side and it feels so good." So, wow. Oh, I guess my first question is why now? Because this is 2023. We've already finalized the divorce. We've been talking about this divorce, I feel like, for eons and eons. And if the show were to continue, we would finally be out of those weeds because she was still trying to finalize that all the way to the very end. It's been her storyline for like a few years now. So at least that would be over and done. But this came out of nowhere. And so to me, it makes me feel like, Lenny knew about this since 2023. He decided to let it go, but something happened recently where he's like, I'm bringing this out. He's always been holding on to it because he wants to bring it out for some reason. Something bad happened, and he wants to make sure, her life is over. Now, if you've seen her photo, okay, like her arrest photo, she looks so glamorous. Like, I don't know what is with these reality stars and their mugshots. It's so funny. Oh my God. Do you guys know that I have a whole what do you call it, mouse pad of housewives mugshots? Now, it doesn't include Wendy or Lisa because it's not that updated, but it includes what's her name? It includes like Leah, so it's not that outdated. But there you go. Um, that's what I use to rest my mouse on. So it's too funny. It's too funny. I don't know. I mean, I just cannot believe they're not capturing this on TV right now. But I truly believe something happened to like spark this, that he has been just holding on to this. I wonder why they did this. I guess they were trying to catch him in something. I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that they were trying to harm him. I think they were trying to get information in relation to the divorce. Sorry, I needed more water. It's very interesting. I mean, I wonder if you wake up one morning and think like, I'm gonna be a housewife who also commits crimes. Like, I it's just wild how many of them end up entangled with the law. I can't even believe it. It's so many that it can make up an entire mouse pad full of, you know? So I will follow this story very closely because it looks like it'll probably go on for quite some time. And I'll let you know what I know. All right, let's move on to our summer house updates because they are always a coming. Now, West and Amanda have decided not to lay low, even though Amanda's biggest pet peeve with her husband, Kyle, was that he was out all the time. She has decided now to just be outside because her baby ass baby boyfriend also loves to be outside. So they went to a Yankees game, and the Yankees, like people who put what do you call it? Camera. I don't know, the producers, they have a camera on them the entire time. They kiss. It's so funny. And you can even, okay, so one of my friends, Nat, you should follow her on Instagram and TikTok. She has like the best content. So she was able to zoom in. That's how long that they were like really not even panning them, just really holding the camera on West and Amanda at this Yankees game on Saturday, to the point where my friend Nat was able to actually pick up what they were saying or able to read the lips. And you can, if you look at it now, if you look at any video of West and Amanda together and you see her speaking, you can see it fully and easily for yourself. She's saying, wait, which video is it? Sorry, there's two videos. In one video, she's saying, at least act like you like me. And then in another one, she's saying, well, we might as well just fuck it then. So it's I know what that means. There's a point in the game where he's jumping up and down, and she's kind of like pulling on his jeans to pull him back down because I guess maybe she's embarrassed that he's like jumping up like that. During the whole thing, like KJ is threadsing and other people are threadsing. Oh my God, what was KJ threadsing? It was so funny. He was like, I'm sick to my mouth or something like that. Hold on, let me find it. He goes, sickos, I kind of just threw up in my mouth. Thank God Kansas City claims me. So that was so funny. But just to be like, at least act like you like me. Like it's become like a thing now because you cannot not look at that video and not hear Amanda say, at least act like you like me. Even if they had a chance, they're never going to have a chance just because of how this has gone. Like, just because of how, like, literally, if people could have thrown tomatoes at them, they would have. Apparently, Amanda is not really on social media right now because someone had like the balls to go up to her. Like, this is how much tea is like coming back from this game. So, like, someone had the balls to go up to her and ask if she could put I don't know, she has like a friend who's like obsessed with Amanda, I guess, and like would be obsessed if Amanda followed her, and Amanda's like, oh, I can't right now because I've taken IG off of my phone. So at least she's like not looking at all the horrible things people are saying about her. And she has no idea, I guess, that everybody hates her. So there's that. And then somebody also apparently asked them if they're official, and she said, no, it's only been a month and a half, so I don't know exactly where we are. But then this Deux Moi blind came out just today, just now. Sorry, I want to say today, but today is Sunday when I am recording this. It says West, this is like a from Bravo and Cocktails. It says West hometown friends confirm they have been hooking up since last June, Amanda and West. And this is, confirming the timeline. I am absolutely certain of this just by watching this season back. Like, even just watching this season now, it's obviously impossible not to watch it through a different lens. We're obviously all watching it through a different lens. But regardless of that, I did not even finish 75% of last week's episode before I was like, they're fucking. They are. Like, it's just so completely obvious. She's so checked out of her marriage. And she doesn't even care about it. She's not even sad about the fact that she's checked out of it. And it's because she's so, so in love with somebody else. And it's been happening since then. So that's why I think this reunion is going to be quite wild. Like, listen, he's cheated on her too, right? So I'm not going to sit here and be like, Amanda, you whore, right? I can't really judge her for it. It's more not really about that. It's more what she's done to Ciara. And in terms of that, I have a couple of videos to play you guys. So first of all, so remember on Threads last week, we were talking about this with Savannah, where Kyle was like threadsing about, and he was like, oh, what are the repercussions of lying on Watch What Happens Live? And what was the other one that he said? Hold on, I have it here. He was like, I've watched some hard to relive moments over the last 10 years. I've also seen things unfold as a viewer that I wasn't privy to as a cast member. So I guess he was asked about that in an interview. He was at a Burger King DJ there. There was a lot of influencers there. So this is from his like DJ Burger King interview. I'm going to tell you right now, he's piss drunk. Okay. So don't even worry about the fact that this makes no sense.
Watched that episode and I think there were just a lot of WTF moments, but I want to take the moment since I'm here. I did not mean to perpetuate the theory that this is going on since last summer. I hope that Amanda makes it crystal clear at the reunion that's not the case. I was just reacting to the episode as a whole. I can't remember an episode where I like jaw open on so many different occasions. And I know we're all watching it through a different lens. And I'm just hoping that people I'm not seeing to give Amanda the benefit of the doubt. Dude, insanity. It'd be diabolical behavior. And the behavior. And like flirty with something was going on, right? Like, I think this is the safe zone. I'm just a friend. I don't think those are his intentions, but I hope I'm bringing correct at the reading that this was recent. That's the one thing I want to just clear up about my post. I don't think I'm making any sense, by the way.
Well, after he saw them at the baseball game, he had some reactions to that as well. So, oh my gosh, where is it? What was he saying? He was like, that was so gross. Even that was even grosser. Hold on, let me find it. Guys, I suck today. Hang on, let me find it. Oh, he goes, I was not prepared to see that and that and that. And then like a barf face, just obviously displaying how much he was disgusted by the video after video after video that I'm sure he was being sent of Wes and Amanda at the baseball game. And then Carl was also spoken to, I guess, about like the whole drama, the whole scamanda. So there was like a little interview with him that I just wanted to play quickly.
Real listen.
Also watching these episodes, putting hands on.
I don't have like my monocle and Sherlock Holmes on the case, but yeah, it's already an interesting experience watching the show back. Telling the truth is like my favorite thing, and being honest feels so good. And when I've seen some of these lies and these things said, it's like it's uncomfortable. It makes me sick. There's just been a lot of deceit and a lot of weird betrayal and lying, and I'm not directly involved here. These are my best friends. It's just a weird position for us as the friend group to figure out how to show up for our friends. But it's also presented a challenge for two other people that I thought I know. I loved Amanda. She's a friend, but it's hard to kind of see some of this stuff unfold. I think we're going to get to the bottom of it at the reunion. Some of my friends have a lot to say. I certainly have some things to say. It's going to be an interesting few weeks to watch these few episodes that I thought I knew what happened. Now I have no idea. It's even more interesting too, because you'll see, I think, a big fight at the end of the summer with me and Kyle that I think to some degree I'm kind of coming to defense of Amanda and some of the things going on. Looking back, I'm like, I feel like it's a little.
That's so funny because we've all been waiting for that big fight between Carl and Amanda, between Carl and Kyle, because we saw it in the preview and we saw it's like the one like big thing that happens this summer. And we all figured that it was about him defending Amanda. And if this is really true, like if we really take this all the way back and we take all these rumors to be true, and they were really fucking all the way back in June, it just really changes everything, right? And which is what I think Carl is saying. He's thinking, like if that kind of thing is true, and look, I'm defending you and your marriage in this situation, it changes Ciara's relationship with Amanda. It changes so many things. It changes the fact that Wes has allegedly been sleeping with Ciara a few times since then, right? Because apparently they're to have slept we hear they are to have slept together at the end of the summer, and then like 3 or 4 weeks ago from the point in time we found out about this. Plus there's all these other girls who have claimed to have been sleeping with him for years or recently or this and that, right? So I really don't know. And Amanda seems extremely unbothered at this baseball game. So she's so outside for somebody who's such a homebody. Like, I know that's what you do when you first start dating someone, but like, that's the part, that you just hated about your husband. So I can't, I just can't. I just can't believe they're wanting this much attention on this, because we're hating it. I want to hiss at them like a cat, like, I'm so mad every time I see them outside. It's like, go inside. I don't know. That's just like how I feel. Now, at this DJ Kyle Cook event, Meghan King Edmonds was there. Do you guys remember her from The Real Housewives of OC? She was married to Jim Edmonds, the baseball player. I only remember her, or not even remember her. I did a full watch of The Real Housewives of OC over Christmas break. I'm going to say Christmas break. No, when I was fired. And so I got caught up on her. I don't know how they know each other aside from just like Bravo stuff, but apparently she was there and hanging out with him a bunch. And there's this video that's going around that I couldn't even look at because it was just, my brain could not compute. Where Kyle is kissing her, and he's kissing her where it's almost like he is her son, because she is taller than him and he is resting his hands on her shoulders, like flat on her shoulders, kisses her, and then continues the conversation. So I don't know what that was. It is very weird. I don't know. I just can't. I don't need that to be a thing. He also posted something. I don't know if I should talk about it. Okay, he got rid of it, so I won't say. But the biggest moment that we've had over the past week, Summer House wise, was the fact that Ciara got the cover of Glamour. So I'm going to read you guys the Glamour article. It's kind of long. And also it's really annoying that the day that this Glamour article comes out, or basically they give Ciara a day and then Wes and Amanda go and like sort of take over New York and take over the media scene and don't even give Ciara a full 24 fucking hours. Okay. I'm going to have a drink of water and then I'm going to read it. Okay. Ciara Miller will let the universe handle it. Oh, and I'm reading this from my Instagram post. My Instagram post was missing a couple of questions and answers just to chop it down for room. So that's what I'm reading. So my apologies if there's something vital that you believe that I have missed. You can go and read the actual article at Glamour, but I still have quite a bit of it. Okay. She didn't rush to post. She didn't spiral online. But when your close friend and your ex go public, what's done in the dark doesn't stay there. Ooh, I like that. When Ciara Miller turned 30 at the end of 2025, she and some friends did an intention setting exercise that involved choosing a single word to live by for the year ahead. Miller's word was community. In the months that followed, that community didn't just contract, it rearranged itself without her. After weeks of rumors, two of Miller's closest housemates on Bravo's 9-year-old Hampton set reality show Summer House, her close friend Amanda Batula and her ex-situationship West Wilson, confirmed fan speculation that they had begun a relationship. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years, through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected, they wrote in matching statements posted to their Instagram stories. Our connection grew out of genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. 2 years ago, the 31-year-old Wilson, a sports journalist brought into the house by Bravo ostensibly to shake things up, pursued Miller, a nurse and model, passionately all summer. Their natural banter quickly gave way to something more. Miller is a self-described slow burn, which made what they had appear more legitimate than a tipsy summer fling. After the camera stopped, Wilson introduced her to his family. He took her to a wedding. Then, as something happens with men who find themselves a little bit famous, he told her he wasn't ready to commit. In the two-part Summer House reunion in June 2024, tensions were high between Miller and Wilson, who soon after admitted to the New York Times that he was astonished by the level of vitriol he got from fans following that reunion, but it seemed both had agreed to keep their distance. When we found out ourselves watching the next 2 seasons of Summer House, it was the female friendships we rooted for. For years, fans watched Miller show up for Amanda Batula in every way a friend could. They would cuddle in bed together, cradle their phones, and cackling about whatever nonsense the boys in the house were planning. When Miller was still getting over Wilson, Batula nudged another castmate in her direction, suggesting a rebound hookup. Sorry, guys, my mouth is so dry today. I'm not the best at reading. Please do not leave me a review about my reading. Thank you. Even more surreal, during season 10, currently airing on Bravo, viewers are watching Batula 34 confide in Miller about possibly leaving Kyle Cook, her husband, castmate, and business partner. In January, the split was confirmed. In hindsight, those season 10 scenes looks as much like the end of one relationship as they do the beginning of a secret new one. Which brings us to the present, where I'm sitting across from Miller in a sunny Manhattan apartment. She seems confident and sort of defiant, a feat considering the entire world is watching the people who played in her face continue to play in her face. I love this wording from a Glamour article. Since Wilson and Batula confirmed their romance, Batula has announced via Instagram stories that she will return to posting online and start living life with some sense of normalcy. Normalcy is apparently hanging out in a New York City pub in sunglasses with a sweater tied around her head like a bonnet. For a reality TV star, Miller has always been unusually private, reluctant to add her own noise to the messes. She knows, though, that her Summer House drama has snatched the internet's attention. John Hamm counted himself amongst Miller's supporters on Watch What Happens Live. Rihanna reportedly unfollowed Batula. New York City Mayor Zohan Mamdi weighed in. An Atlanta native who became a reality TV star after working as a travel nurse in Brooklyn during the pandemic, Miller seemed slightly uncomfortable with the scale of it, choosing to remain pretty quiet about the whole ordeal. Wilson and Batula can have their twin Instagram statements and bar crawls and sympathy puppy pics. I want to do it my way, in a way that feels more intentional than just a podcast or a comment under a picture, Miller says, when I ask why she waited until this interview to speak up. As the Summer House season implodes off screen, and just weeks before the reunion taping, Miller is giddy over a personal milestone. She bought her grandparents' house in North Carolina. On the show, she movingly explains what it means as a single Black woman to own the house she loved the most growing up between divorced parents, a house her grandfather built. In the middle of a personal maelstrom, Miller seems ready to move on and let go of what she can't control. Just know when something's weird in your gut, there's a reason, she tells me. What's done in the dark always comes to light. And sometimes you really don't even have to do anything except sit back and let the universe handle it all. Still, there's a little fun to be had. A day after we chat, Miller posted an Instagram that epitomized the dry humor that's made her a fan favorite for the 5 seasons. She was walking out of Sephora holding one of the brand's signature black and white striped shopping bags with the quotation at Sephora always rewards loyalty. She captioned the photo. Like other scorned Bravo women before her, Miller must know the opportunity always presents itself for those who deserve it. Glamour asks, how does it feel now that the season 10 of Summer House is airing? Ciara, milestone season. Incredibly proud of everyone on the cast, but season 10 stakes are high. It's very evident that I was in a different place for season 10. We'll credit that to Prozac. You're 30 now, the question asks from Glamour. I am 30, but don't tell anyone. People are like, you're going to love your 30s. And I'm like, when? We're 3 months in. I usually hide on my birthdays. For my 30s, my friends were insisting that I do something. My mom flew in and a friend flew me a small birthday dinner. One of my friends made me go over around the table and say something nice about me. Between West and Amanda, who were you closer to? Definitely Amanda, but I feel like because West and I were working on our relationship, because we are exes, sometimes you spin the block and sometimes you land in situations where you guys are out. I feel like there's some room to do that if that's your ex. I do feel like I was closer to Amanda at that particular time, but I also know she probably wasn't going to come to my birthday dinner just because you know the rule with her. She wants to be invited, but she doesn't necessarily want to come, which is fine because I'm totally the same way. I appreciate the invite, but I don't want to go. The question was asked, was West at this birthday dinner? And Ciara says, I invited him and he came. I felt like we were trying to move in a more positive direction since we hadn't spoken to one another in 2 years. Can't believe that. I felt like we were actually starting to be friends again. And we had a lot of conversations about, okay, what do I need from you? What do you need from me? What are some of the boundaries that we want to keep in place? What's going to make our friendship a lot easier? One of those boundaries was no more sleeping with people on Bravo. Okay, guys, this is like the standard trope now, okay? Just don't sleep with anyone in the friend group. This is the problem. And we keep repeating these patterns over and over again. But anyway, obviously now that's out the window. At the end of the day, we were genuine friends, which is what made this so much more hurtful when everything kind of went south following our breakup and why I needed to take time after. Do you feel like Amanda is jealous of you? Jealousy is such a weird concept to me. I honestly don't know. I don't know. That's a question for her. What bonded you and Amanda initially? I'm trying to think back to my first summer in the house. Amanda just felt like a very calm spirit initially. She was someone that I always felt comfortable talking to. She always felt like a non-judgmental figure to go to. I'd like to know who you feel has betrayed you more, West or Amanda. At the end of the day, a guy's a guy. Whether or not West and I were working on a relationship, you just can't put anything past a man. But I just never would think that it would have come from someone like Amanda, who had been what felt like in my circle and in my corner for so long. I think that's the craziest part. Watching you defend her to Kyle this season, I fought you on your own husband to advocate for you. I have championed you. I have tried to be there for you in different ways for you and help you and to get you to see your value in yourself. And so to disregard in such a disrespectful way, honestly, I'm at a loss for words sometimes. How are you feeling right now at this moment? I'm just trying to make it to the reunion at this point. Every day changes. It's like a weird flow of what you would have thought the past couple of years of your life look like and what you thought relationships were versus what they actually are is tricky. One of my friends was like, you're going to shed a lot of friends in your 30s, but that's to gain more clarity. And damn, she was right. That friend knows. Speaking of the reunion, it tapes soon. How do you feel going into it? The reunions are always mental warfare. Filming a reality TV show and then sitting at a reunion 8 months later, it's not normal. It's not real life. It's like having to remember everything you said or give a reason for why you said something you said. I'm a bit nervous. Who do you want to sit next to? That's a tough question. You get to sit next to your friends. In the past, I've sat next to Paige. There's also something about the chapter of sitting by yourself and not being able to hold your ground. Not that I'm okay sitting by myself, but I feel like I'm more comfortable sitting by myself than I may have been. I would love to sit next to Mia or Lindsay or Carl or KJ, but at the same time, I'm not really thinking too much about the seating arrangement because I know that this is a moment for me to stand my own ground wherever I'm sitting. What was your last conversation with Amanda like? Minimal is all I'll say, because that's something I will talk about at the reunion. Understood. Did you get a heads up that West and Amanda planned to post that statement on Instagram confirming their relationship? Ciara said less than 24 hours. One notification was about 45 minutes before. The question asks, did you get to read it ahead of time? What did you think? And she said, I read it with the rest of the world, and there's something about the lack of being able to say each other's names in a statement that I found very telling, but I don't know. Something that I wanted to really dig into. Watching this show, so many white people are uncomfortable talking about race. There's a scene this season where you and KJ connect at the table over the double consciousness of being Black and on camera. You talk about how your relationships are different and you're perceived differently, everything. I got emotional watching it. Do you think your housemates appreciated that conversation? And Ciara said, it's funny what's shocking and surprising to them and what's not shocking and surprising to us. I think there's a lack of awareness of how people of color and Black people have to move in this world, and it's not fucking fair. Growing up, my dad always said, the older you are, the blacker you get. You don't notice it when you're a kid, but the older you get, you'll start to notice the nuances of your relationships with people and how people treat you and how they value you and how they see you or how they don't see you in a scenario. People can say it like it has nothing to do with race, but I think at the crux of it, it has everything to do with race. Why is it that I'm so much more disposable than another person? Yes, that's the crux of this. Why was she so disposable? And then they ask the question, and even not have or the statement, even not having to think about all of that is your own privilege. And Ciara said, to never even have to consider how to move through the world is something I can't even fathom. I don't know what that's like. I couldn't imagine what that's like, not having to have certain conversations. And then they asked the question, you said earlier that it's surreal to watch yourself on camera. Do you think that as a Black woman, you can't express anger or frustration in a certain way because of always seeing us as more aggressive or more strict? I came into the house having boundaries. Don't call me after 9. People just thought that this was the most ridiculous thing ever. But I grew up in a household where we weren't allowed to talk on the phone after 9. People love to say that they're scared of me or that I'm scary, but what have I done that's been scary? Because a lot of the time I say nothing and I remove myself from a situation. Even if I do yell, like Carl's yelling, everyone else is also yelling. So why am I so much more scary than any of the guys yelling? How is it that I'm already getting labeled as scary and intimidating? The I word. My entire dating life is men calling me intimidating. I prefer discerning. How has this navigated this in your own dating life? Ciara said it's hard. Dating interracially is a whole other layer. The nuances of interracial dating and how much of a mindfuck it can be. Not only do you have to figure out who this person fucking voted for, you have to figure out, like, okay, you're attracted to me, you like me, but do you like people that look like me? Because I'm just one person, but would you really advocate for us all? That to me is important and vital because I don't want to be an exception to your rule at all. Then they asked the question, watching season 8, that first party at the house, the friends West invited were Black. Do you think that made him more attractive to you? And Ciara said, I think in the beginning, to know that a person is interculturally mixed with a lot of different people, or a lot of different types of people is reassuring. When I date white guys and they only have white friends, that to me is scary. It's nice when you're dating a white guy and they have Black friends and they have friends that look different from me. We were able to have a productive and great conversation when we were together, and that's something that definitely led me to feel safer in that relationship with West. Then the question asks, one of my friends has joked about how when dating interracially, you don't want to be the first Black partner, but you also don't want to be the 15th, but both can be weird. And Ciara says, there's a fine line between, okay, I just want to experience something new and being fetishized. That's really important. And then the interviewer says, as a consequence of that, to me, in what we learn as Black women about being fast, like acting too grown or being too sexual, you've said that you're a slow burn. And I don't want to discount that, but I think there's different awareness you haven't had at play here about being sexualized or stereotyped as a Black woman on reality TV. And Ciara says, I think those warnings are the older generation's way of telling us to take our time. But then you battle between, am I allowed to have feel these feelings? Am I allowed to be a sexual person? Am I allowed to be a curious person without being labeled immediately? And it's funny because I am the slowest of burns and people are so like, she sleeps with everyone because I wear bikinis or whatever. A lot of my value is equated to my looks. They asked the question, you get a lot of grief and I think it's unfair for your taste in men. How does it feel? And Ciara says, I don't like it. I don't like it. I get a lot of grief for dating people. But here's the thing. I've only technically dated 2 people publicly. That's true. For people to make a really roundabout statement about my taste based on 2 people is annoying and frustrating. I'm trying to figure out dating. If I were a fucking expert, don't you think I would probably be married? But I'm not. Why do we put this pressure on young women like it's our fault for not seeing who this person is immediately? It's our fault for having bad taste in men, when men often present themselves as one way and for the first 3 months and then completely end up being someone totally different. So that is the crux of the article. On that point, that is so true because, yeah, I mean, we can all sit there and easily say, like, you know who Austin is or you knew who Wes was. And it's like, yes, but when they're trying to court you, they are a whole different person. And you don't see the person that the other people say that they are. You see their best version, right? And so even when they become their regular, sloppy, like lazy selves, your brain just goes back to like when they were great and it's hard to kind of forget that part. And then when you're sitting alone in your thoughts, you're like, oh, I can't sleep right now. And then I'm going to try to think about something to sleep. Oh, I'm going to think about those times I had with that guy when those times were good. And then it's going to be harder to get rid of those feelings. So I understand why it's hard. It's been hard for her. I think it's so fucking baller that she got this Glamour magazine shoot and like article. You should go see the pictures. So go to the Glamour magazine website, which is not a physical publication anymore. It is only an online magazine. So the more you know. But more on that Ozarks summer house thing that we heard about that West was going to be the bridge for. So Deux Moi released another blind about this that says, I know who will be on the Ozarks summer house show. They're all connected to West. One being an ex-girlfriend and Dallas Cowboys cheerleader that he allegedly leaked a video of. What? That West leaked a video of? One being an ex-girlfriend and Dallas Cowboys cheerleader that he allegedly leaked a video of. Why is everyone committing all these crimes? And then it says, I can leave the castmates' names. A lot of them kissed or hooked up with West. Danielle, Chloe, Maddie P, Dave, Gage K, Jamie, Carolyn S. I just don't know. I'm all for another spin-off show. I just don't know that we want West on any show. I could be fine with him being a bridge in terms of literally like introduce us to them and then get out of here. But I don't think we're ready for this jelly. And does everyone understand that at Bravo, that we are so mad at West right now? So I don't know how we feel about this just yet. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. All right. Well, that's it for Summer House news. And let's move on to just a little bit of baby Love is Blind news. Yes, I said baby because Brittany, I never know how to pronounce her last name, Brittany Wisniewski, from Love is Blind is having a baby. So you may recall Brittany from a few seasons back. It was Brittany and Leo. She was really into rich guys. She had like blonde hair, really dainty, like small kind of look to her. And so she ends up with Leo. They couldn't afford to send them to Mexico. So the 2 of them went to Miami somewhere. Leo was the guy who was the rich guy who talked about being rich all the time. And he was an art dealer. And then when she saw him, she was like, no, thank you. And they ended up remaining like best friends or something. So the guy that she's pregnant with, I remember this story from before. So she had actually had a boyfriend right before Love is Blind. He even like drove her to her flight for Love is Blind. Then either she got back together with him after Love is Blind or she started dating Maud's son, but she definitely cheated on this guy with Maud's son at some point. Well, now she's pregnant with the guy, right? So that's cool, right? I mean, if you all, maybe you're meant to be with the one you always end up back with. So she's not with Leo, not with Maud's son. She's with original guy. Good for them and congratulations. Congrats. Yeah, if that's what makes her happy. And then we saw this weird blind from Deux Moi about Connor and Bri from just last season of Love is Blind that they have broken up. So yeah, it just says that it's happened a few weeks ago and that they're keeping it quiet. So I took a quick peek into this and they have been posting pictures together all week. Now they're sporting it, but even like as recently as like 15 hours ago and stuff. Now that being said, they're all sporting events and I don't know if things that they were maybe already contractually obligated to go to. That's very possible, but it just doesn't feel like it. I'm not, unless they're making a concerted effort to make it look like they are together just for optics, that would be a lot considering no one's really looking at you guys anymore. So that being said, I'd be surprised to hear that they broke up considering they were doing so well while not having the limelight. So now that they're finally, out in the open and can be themselves and can be a couple, I thought that they would be all good again and be able to, be one of the few couples that actually makes it out of this. So I hope it's not true. But yeah, like I said, I've been doing some snooping on their social media and it seems like they've been together in the past 15 hours. So I don't know. I'll keep you updated if I have any more information. All right, you guys, that is the end of the episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at The Bravo Investigator. You can join my YouTube channel. Please subscribe there because I'm trying to monetize. So I'm trying to get to 1,000. So even if you don't listen over there, just subscribe over there. That would be awesome. But you can watch episodes like today over there. You can also join the Facebook page. I can monetize over there too. So join. All of these things are in the show notes. That would be awesome. And guys, again, remember I started that new podcast called All You Need Is You. It comes out every Friday. Tell your friends about it. I love you, BBs. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Bravo Investigator podcast. For more content, head over to patreon.com/The Bravo Investigator podcast. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at The Bravo Investigator. If you enjoyed the show, leave a 5-star review. Love you, BBs. See you next time.